According to theological findings, tradition has it that Nimrod met a violent end, with various accounts offering different explanations. One tale attributes his demise to a wild animal attack, while another narrative suggests that Shem was responsible for his death, blaming Nimrod for leading the people into the worship of Baal. In accordance with ancient Egyptian and Babylonian traditions, Semiramis was either considered Nimrod's mother or wife, a distinction that has fueled speculation that Nimrod may have married his own mother. These traditions also suggest that Semiramis, who rose to prominence because of her son, faced a dilemma upon his death. In response, she declared him a deity with the hope of becoming a goddess herself. Despite Semiramis' claim to virginity, she bore another son named Tammuz, whom she asserted was the reincarnation of Nimrod. She became renowned as the Virgin Mother, the Holy Mother, and the Queen of Heaven, often symbolized by the moon. This marked the inception of the veneration of Semiramis and the child god, ushering in the elaborate Babylonian religious system. Various ancient sources indicate that Semiramis, who was both Nimrod's wife and mother, held the position of high priestess in the Babylonian religion. She is credited with founding all mystery religions and being regarded as a goddess. Following the destruction of the Tower of Babel and the subsequent emergence of diverse languages, she assumed divine status under various names. She was worshipped as Ishtar in Syria, Astarte in Phoenicia, Isis in Egypt, Aphrodite in Greece, and Venus in Rome, often associated with themes of sexual love and fertility. Her son Tammuz, similarly, attained deification under different names and was considered the consort of Ishtar, as well as the god of the underworld. Within the cult of Ishtar, Tammuz's conception was attributed to a sunbeam, a parallel to the virgin birth narrative of Jesus. Tammuz was equated with Baal in Phoenicia, Osiris in Egypt, Eros in Greece, and Cupid in Rome, and the worship of these deities was consistently linked with sexual immorality. The observance of Lent, which lacks scriptural basis, is believed to have originated from the pagan practice of Semiramis mourning for 40 days following Tammuz's death. This theme is also evident in the book of Ezekiel, specifically in Ezekiel 8:13-15. In these verses it is written, Ezekiel received a message that he would witness even more grievous abominations committed by the people. He was led to the north gate of Jehovah's house, where he saw women mourning for Tammuz. Then he was asked, "Have you seen this, O Son of Man? You will witness even greater abominations than these." The origins of organized false religion can be traced back to the Tower of Babel and Nimrod, from which the name Babylon originates. God's judgment thwarted their primary goal of creating a grand display of humanistic unity. By confusing their language and dispersing them across the face of the earth, God prevented their understanding of each other's speech. However, these people carried with them the seeds of false and idolatrous religion, which they and their descendants spread throughout the world over time. While the ideas and forms evolved and sometimes became more sophisticated, the fundamental system remained unchanged. This is why Babel, also known as Babylon, is referred to as the mother of harlots and of the abominations of the earth in Revelation 17:5. It served as the origin of all false religions. To conclude, as Christians, we are called to worship and serve God alone. The first commandment given by God to the Israelites in Exodus 23 states, "You shall have no other gods before me." This commandment reminds us that our allegiance and devotion should be directed solely towards God. Idols can come in various forms in our modern world, such as money, success, relationships, or even our own desires and ambitions. When we place our trust or obsession in these things above God, we are indulging in idol worship. However, as Christians, we are called to have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, who is the embodiment of God's love and grace. We are instructed to worship God in spirit and in truth, as Jesus himself said in John 4:23-24. In order to avoid falling into the trap of idol worship, we must constantly evaluate our priorities and desires, ensuring that God remains at the center of our lives. We can seek guidance and strength from the Holy Spirit, who empowers us to resist the temptation of idolatry and to remain faithful to God.